Surprise! The number of young single men in America is at a record high. This is why. According to Pew Research data that was released this week, a staggering 63% of men in their 20s are single, which is almost double that of women.
I'm gonna be single forever.
Ah, man, oh man, oh man. I'm not even surprised. I ain't even surprised. Why are people surprised that that number's so high?
I just realized that, man. I'm gonna be single forever. And I'll say that, and some people are like, that's sad. It's not sad. It's reality, bruh. I'm gonna be single forever.
Third of men, 33%.
At least he know. I mean, a lot of guys, you know, they think this way because they're wondering, like, is the juice even worth the squeeze of being in a relationship? You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of guys are thinking.
A little over a third of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. So I've got a question for the men. So my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done.
You know, I'm seeing more and more of these videos, and honestly, it makes me sad because guys have told women why. We've made it very clear why we're walking away. And we're walking away in droves, and it's only going to get worse because you're not hearing why we're walking away. It's very simple. Don't read between the lines. Hear these words. There is absolutely no benefit anymore to being in a relationship with a woman for a man. None. Zero. Zilch. Especially when you consider the risk compared to any potential reward. Roughly 55% of marriages end in divorce, and the guy loses everything. Add into it all the relationships where they weren't married, and the guy lost access to his kids and had to pay mounds of child support, and so on. When you really look at it, there's less than a 1 in 4 chance of having a successful relationship. Would you risk everything you have? Would you risk your children and having access to them, knowing you only had a 25% chance of success? I doubt it. Add to it the expectations that today's women have are beyond absurd. We all joke about the sixes, but the reality is that is most women's expectation.
That's the thing, though. That's one of the main reasons why guys are saying, you know what, I'm not even dealing with this stuff today, because women's expectations are so freaking high. And I'm not saying all women's expectations are like that, but there's a good majority of women who want a man to make this, be this, be this, be this, be this, be this. But men, we don't have a lot of expectations for a woman. As long as you bring us peace, as long as you good, as long as you a person that is submissive and things like that, that's all we care about. But women are constantly asking why y'all even staying single, why y'all not getting in relationships, because like he said, man, the risk is not even worth it these days.
You expect men to give, and offer nothing in return. I'm not saying any of this to be mean, but I am being blunt in hopes you'll hear it, because we've said it over and over and over again. And yet you're still asking us, why are you walking away? That, in a nutshell, is the crux of the problem. You ask us, but you don't want to hear the response.
That's the thing. You don't want to hear the response because you don't believe us. See, now that more and more men are making it known, going on the internet and making it known, like this gentleman right here, they're making it known like, yo, and this is an older guy. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no young guy. This ain't no 25, yo. This dude got to be like in his 50s or 60s. He's like, yo, I'm through. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, a lot of these women don't listen. If you listen and comprehend, men are telling you what the deal is. But a lot of women listen to talk and not listen to understand.
And if you hear it, you don't want to accept it. My honest advice to you ladies is this. Get a mirror, look in it, and ask yourself,
preach. What
are we offering to men? Why should men want to be with us? And if your answer is things like you have a great career or job, or that you're going to cook and clean, none of that matters to us. Not in the least. What matters to us? Peace, loyalty, and acknowledgement. Something very, very few women give to their man. And until you're willing to give that, until you're willing to set aside your ridiculous expectations, those numbers you mentioned are only going to get worse.
How is it dates today. Yet no man wants me to be his girlfriend.
You know why? Because look at the attitude. Look at your attitude. What man would want to deal with that? She looks great. I'm not lying. She looks great. But what man would want that attitude? And see, women expect men to just come in droves to try to holler at you and holler at you and holler at you. And guys are like, nah, man, I don't even want to deal with it. I don't even want to deal with it. Because it's not even worth it these days. See, back in the days, it was worth it because women were more respectful. Women understood better. It's like now with social media. And I told people, social media is the reason why a lot of these relationships ain't working at all, man. Everybody posts stuff on social media. Expectations high, too high.
Is this a serious question? Because women just went from saying they rather pick a bear over a man.
Facts.
So why the hell would men approach you? Or even look in your direction?
Facts.
But not only that, so many women have taught men over the years that all men are predatorial, so the good men of the world gave up. And it's so funny because women will constantly say that men don't listen, but now that men are listening, y'all are wondering where the good guys are at, why they don't approach you anymore, and why men are just simply not interested.
You know why the good guys don't approach you anymore? Because in the end of the day, it's like that man. This is the thing. There are a lot of men out here who are good men, who could be great providers, men who love you unconditionally. But because that man isn't a certain aesthetic, you don't want to be bothered with him. That man will be dedicated to you. That man will provide for you. That man will make a great life for you. But because that man's probably 5'9", he has a little weight on him, man, he may not be the most, aesthetic person that you ever met. But sometimes God blesses you with somebody that may not be the perfect 10. He may be a 6 in your eyes, but because that man is a 6 in your eyes, you don't want to approach that man, or you don't want that man to even approach you. So dude's like, I ain't even going to do it.
And why the hell would they be interested? They don't know if they're going to be the next subject of all men are trash content on social media. They don't know if they're going to be accused of doing something they didn't do. They don't know if they're going to be used for dates. They don't know if they're going to be manipulated and then called a narcissist. Yep. And in this particular video, she's also asking why didn't they approach her because she looks the way that she looks. But the bottom line is most women are basic. There's nothing special to them. We all look the freaking same. So yeah, you actually have to come with more than just your looks. You actually need a personality nowadays too.
Preach. I mean, this lady right here preaching. Like, this is the thing women need to understand. You can have all the looks in the world. But looks fade. You know the women who keep their man. You know the women who stay married for a long time. They don't be the best looking women in the world. But the one thing them women do is that they're peaceful. They know what their man wants. They cater to their man. They make sure their man is good. And in return, that man will protect and provide. I know plenty of men who are married to women. They've been married for 20 plus years. And the women have always been the same. Nice, very, very just cordial, and treat their men like kings. And they, in return, the men treat them like queens. And this is why long-term marriages last.
Okay, bye.
So it's been brought to my attention that men no longer want to come up to women anymore. Due to sex allegations, women being just so rude and disrespectful, and rejection. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know men didn't want to come up to women anymore. I'm barely finding this out. Why do women choose to cuss guys out when they come up to them and approach them? I have no idea. I apologize for that. But there's just too many fine men. And if it takes me, the women, having to come up to you guys and shooting my shot, saying what's up, being the big stepper, then I'll just have to do that. And I'm going to just start coming up to you guys and shooting out compliments and see where it takes me. So if I start coming up to y'all in the grocery store and I say, excuse me, sir, you are just so sexy, I want a response. Okay, I don't want none of that shy stuff.
Oh, Lord. I mean, shoot your shot. Ladies, if you see a man that's attractive and sometimes women will wait for a man to shoot their shot, and that man might not even be thinking about you at that time. He may be in another world or got other things on his mind. You know, if a woman tends to shoot her shot at a man will be surprised, and he'll be like, wow, she really took the time to holler at me. I'm gonna give her a chance. And you never know, that might be the man that be for you.
Happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore or don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift? Because back in my mom's era, if a guy wanted to take you out on a date, he had to go up to you, he had to get your number, he had to go through lengths to try to talk to you, even if you weren't interested at first. How my parents met? They met at a bar, and my dad asked for my mom to dance. My mom was like, get out of here. She wanted nothing to do with him. If he had just left and listened to her, they would have never gotten married. They would have never had kids. But he was persistent. He wanted to take her out on a date so badly. He was like, what do I have to do to take you out on a date? She was working late their first date. So he went to her work, picked her up, prepped a dinner, took her to a park, just planned the whole thing.
Because if a man persisted...
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell before this woman even starts her little thing. Back in the days when your parents were going, or your parents would, your father was trying to court your mother, it was easier because you didn't have social media. You didn't have all these different expectations. The expectations were, if a man approaches you and you like him, you go ahead and give him your number and you see where it goes. Now, men have to not only approach you, but they have to approach you, and you want the man to do this, and the man to have this, and the man to have that, and all these different things you want a man to have. But back when your mom was growing up, your father was persistent. He said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and meet this woman. I'm going to go ahead and do whatever I got to do. And I guarantee you, your mama didn't ask how much your father made.
Like that in today's dating world, he would at the very least be called a creep. And at the worst, he'd be going to jail. That is the reality that a lot of men face. So that in combination with the fact that women are not really reciprocating effort and they're not treating men very well right now, there is a large group of men that are saying that it's just not worth it. And they would say that women have asked for it. They have asked men to leave them alone. So guess what, ladies? They're leaving you alone.
Yeah.
Hey, I am.
Yep. They leaving you alone because they don't want to be called a creep. They don't want to be called by the police. You know what I'm saying? Women, I'm going to tell you what happened, man. That Me Too movement really, really did a number on men. Because you could try to go holler at a woman, and the woman will call you a creep or call somebody and say, he's messing with me. He's doing all these things to me. And the man just say hello. The man says hello. See, when I talk to a woman, I say, good morning, ma'am. How you doing, ma'am? I'm very cordial. Hello, ma'am. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Things like that, because I ain't trying to be called a creep, and I ain't trying to get the police called on me because you think I'm a creep.
I'm the problem. I went on a date with this guy, and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening. And he was like, that's totally fine. Just come over. And I was like, cool. So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, are you gay?
You told him. Oh my gosh, yo. No, you didn't ask that man that. No, she did not ask that man that. You told the man literally, I'm not gonna sleep with you on the first date. He respects your wishes, but then you're gonna call him gay. What type of shit is this, man?
Like what? And like I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean?
Oh no.
I wasn't gonna sleep with him. I feel ugly.
This is why men are going their own way. Women like her, I'm gonna be honest. You wanted him to try. A man respects your wishes Then you insult him. I don't understand, man. This is level 10 confusion for me.
This is what.
I'm 19 years old. I've never had a boyfriend, but what I do have is a 30-page list full of qualifications and standards said person has to meet.
All right, this girl made a video talking about her requirements to be her boyfriend. And the comments are absolutely ripping this girl apart because whatever she's asking for in this video is a little bit too much. So let's go through the video and let's see what is too much for these guys.
First of all, I have to be attracted to the person.
Hey, number one, she has to be attracted to her partner. I know how ridiculous of this girl to want to be attracted to her partner, but I'm sure something more unreasonable is coming up throughout this video.
I used to be super picky about height, but now as long as you're taller than me, I'm cool with it. I'm 5'4", so it's not that hard. But now you just gotta have a good, strong jawline and a sweet-looking face.
Okay, so the guy needs to be above 5'5" and have a strong jawline. This is what we're complaining about, guys. See videos on TikTok where a girl's asking for a guy who makes $1 billion and is 7'4", but this is what we're getting upset about. Okay, maybe the video is gonna get more insane as we go on. Let's see what else she asked for.
For smiles, I am pretty picky. You gotta have a good smile. I don't know, it just, to me, it's a really big deal. And you also have to look clean. I don't know, hygiene is a huge thing for me. Must understand emotions, and I don't care if you're a little bit emotional too.
Okay, so he needs to have a good smile, shower regularly, and, understand emotions. This is something gonna happen that I'm supposed to be upset about here?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, a lot of the stuff she's saying, I'm not upset about. So what's going on? I mean, if she was saying he had to be like 6'10", I would be upset, but her qualifications ain't that bad. It's pretty normal.
Be best friends. I want to be your best friend, and I want you to be my best friend. You have to match my obsession with the beach and...
Wow, now that one was totally uncalled for. She wants to have a friendship with her boyfriend. That's ridiculous. And he has to have a common interest of hers. Now, this girl's really getting unreasonable, guys.
To take things extremely slow, so you have to be willing to work with that. I need someone that has a very contagious laugh and that laughs a lot.
Her last two totally unreasonable requests are that he has a good laugh and that he just goes slow. If you think these standards are so high that this is an explanation for why she's been single for 19 years when that's literally a completely normal age to be single for, what do you expect her to do? Have a relationship when she's 4 years old? 100% more a reflection of the guys, because if you cannot meet at least 90% of that list, then I really don't know what to tell you.
I ain't gonna lie, man. That last one was kind of funny because Shawty's list wasn't that bad. I mean, she's 19, so she's a little young. So give her time. Give her time. I mean, the list wasn't that bad. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments. It's your boy Jay. If you like the video, hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button on my road to 10,000 subscribers. Let's get it. Until next time, I'm out.